All right, welcome back to an episode of Blazed Outlaw Builders. We are going to build a grenade / pipe bomb only base. Now, as we get into this, my buddy down in his room was trying to update a Steam game that decided it wanted to give him like a 10-hour update or some crap. And as soon as he started updating that game, he started crashing mine. So whatever that update is was taking too much bandwidth and kept crashing me out while I was trying to film this. So there are 7 or 8 different takes. I didn't show them all, but there are 2 or 3 instances where the game crashes and I have to start the Horde night over. Didn't have any problem really with building, but the Horde night itself, when all the zombies came and the extra strain on the bandwidth, just couldn't handle it. So during that whole fiasco, I did not notice that, as well as that fiasco, apparently my recording software decided it didn't want to record my microphone input. So I'm having to do voiceover all the way through this. So this base will be designed for you to stand on a platform, the zombies will run in, you take a step back, they will fall, and then you'll have a chute that you can open up to throw grenades down. Now, Guns, Nerds, and Steel calls this the glory hole, although I hesitate to use that phrase because, well, it's his phrase. But that's the basic idea. So the platform that I stand on, I like to make a floating system using Joe Woodall's design, because if everything else goes wrong with the base and they just decide to destroy everything and congregate underneath me, I'm floating up on the ground, off the ground, where they're less likely to be able to get to me, and less likely to break the blocks that are holding me up. Now, at the beginning here, I actually made a mistake. I made the platform 3 wide. I was supposed to make it 4 wide. But as you can see, I get it 3 wide, and I'm getting ready to put in the ramp, narrow something or others, to create the chute. So the chute will be angled towards where they fall. This will not work well for Molotovs because it's only going to be a one hole gap. It's actually going to be smaller than a 1 hole gap because of the slant. Even if you could get the Molotov down into the chute without setting yourself on fire, it's unlikely that it's going to make it all the way to the bottom, thereby rendering it kind of useless. You do not want to use contact grenades. I think it's contact grenades. One of the grenades has a super high block damage, and you want to use the grenade that has only like 5 or 10 points of block damage, so that you're not just destroying your own base. It's also why I built it out of steel. I know you aren't going to have steel for this much steel at the beginning, but the bottom of the pit and what's holding up the base and everything, that all needs to be steel because it's going to be subjected to explosion. So what I did was I made the floating base, and then I put 4 blocks up from there, and I chose 4 blocks just because there's 4 pieces of the narrow ramp. Put them in one way for one side of the chute and flip them around the other direction and upside down for the other side of the chute. Makes a nice angled chute that will kind of, if you hit the back wall, it'll kind of bounce the grenade out farther into the area where they actually fall. I put the plates on top here. Yeah, that one. I put the plates on top so that the hatch covering that hole will have something to adhere to. If you don't put that there, oftentimes the hatch just falls. There's got to be something holding the hatch in place. Now, normally I would use, I don't know, the shutter doors or what are the little 1 meter square shutter doors, but I didn't want to have to search for them, so I just stuck with the standard iron hatch. What happens when you try to build when you're stoned, or in my case not stoned, can't figure anything out. Put that there, opens up that direction. And the platform for us to stand on is done. Toss a grenade down there, make sure everything works right. See how it kind of bounces out there. That's where the zombies are going to be falling. And this is where I discovered my mistake, making it too narrow. It's supposed to be 4 wide. I go back in and I'm going to tear down part of it to make it correct. So the chute is actually double wide in the end version. Which is good. I mean, that makes it easier for, you know, if 2 people happen to be in the base. You can open up just 1 hatch, or if you have 2 people, you can open up 2 hatches, and then you're not bumping into each other. Wrong way. On there. And all in all, the end product turned out really well. Oops. Put back the one that I accidentally took out. Get it rotated properly first, Mike. There you go. Put that one in that I didn't mean to take out. And then just continue this wall like I had it before. Throw the extra 3 plates down and then add the second hatch door. Okay, it opens up properly. Now, the platform where we stand is done. Now I gotta figure out where to place the garage doors, and so the wall needs to be two blocks wider and 3 blocks tall to accommodate the garage door. So it's 3 blocks up off the ground and then 3 blocks for the garage door. The wall will be 6 blocks high, putting it right at our feet. I think I decided here to go back to the baluster blocks rather than the plain square blocks. I really like those balusters. They give it a really unique design, but they don't work well for walls that you're hiding behind because the cops can still see you and therefore still spit at you. Now the inside block on this wall is only 3 blocks high because that is where the garage door is going to sit on that side. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side over here. And you don't have to make the whole thing out of steel like I'm doing here. The only parts that have to be made out of steel are the parts that are going to be subjected to the exploding grenades. The higher quality the block, the less that you're going to have to repair. The stronger it'll be, less chance that they could. I mean, you could let the entire 64 Horde into that pit, and as long as they're steel, you still got enough time to toss a couple of grenades down there. Put the garage doors down. Now it's important that you orient them just the way I'm doing here, because they will only open one direction. So if you try to go inside the pit and place them, they will open the wrong direction. Heard a screamer, I think, there. Now we're just going to, looks like, continue the wall around the back to enclose it. And once the zombies fall down in the pit, we don't want them getting out and banging on walls, or so I'm not giving them a way back up. I want them to stay down there long enough for me to throw grenades down, and I want them to be in concentrated enough pack of them that it gets them all with one grenade. Now you'll see later in the video when I'm testing this, I actually a couple of times throw down a bunch of unarmed grenades and then toss one down that I pulled the pin on, and that creates a larger explosion, you know, or rather a series of smaller explosions. But it helps get, you know, the ones that can survive a single grenade it helps to hit them a second time or maybe even a third time in quick succession so that they die without before they have a chance to get up and hit stuff again. So now it's fully encased. I can go ahead and start, I think, the stairs next. Let's see. Okay. I put some stairs in. And I think I sped up this part of the video. So, I mean, who wants to watch me build stairs? All right. The stairs are up. I got a cage up around our platform where we stand on. And now I am covering the doors so that the zombies can't, path over on top of them. I'm using the same baluster blocks just because it's something different rather than just plain square blocks. That should keep them from getting on top of the doors. Get rid of that. Got the stairs in. I don't know what happened to my voice there. I got the stairs in, the doors are working, the chute's working. Now we just need to put in some bars to keep the zombies from getting all the way up to us. And I put them out one space. That way I can still get up and down the ladder. And, it gives another place to throw grenades or to shoot from if we wanted to shoot at the zombies down in the pit. Then I put a roof on it real quick so that the terror chickens can't get down to us. Oops. We're having a little trouble getting these in the right places because they're such a thin block. Now I extend the sides out just so that it matches on that side because I have the flat ones on top of the walls helping to hold it all in place. And then I extended the back out again just for aesthetic. So it matches the sides, the overhang on the sides. And now we begin testing, I think. Come up here, stand on the pressure plate, doors close, zombies come in. All you have to do is take a step back, they fall into the pit, take a step forward and wait for the next batch of zombies. So let's throw out a few of the Party Girl, my favorite zombie, of course. Get their attention. They're heading this way. Close the doors. Well, two of them made it in. The third one sits out there and beats on stuff. She's confused. I'm pretty sure she was a blonde. Now she's inside, still beating on the walls, but at least she's inside and can fall now. Okay. Now we have 3 zombies underneath us. Take a step back, toss a grenade. It bounces out into the fall area. And all 3 of them are dead. Or 2 of them are dead. Let's try it again. There we go. Now they're all dead. Easy as pie. Just like that. Now we're going to set the time to day 7000 Horde and see how it goes. Does not end well because, like I said, my buddy downstairs is updating. I think Conan something or other on Steam, and it was creating such a draw on the bandwidth that it kept crashing my game altogether. So this is take one. Does not seem to have lasted very long, does it? As soon as the 64 zombies spawned in, bam. Take two. Seems to he seems to be going fairly well. Come on over, fellas. Say hello to my pit of splody. The cages that I put around the platform here clearly do not stop the zombie cops from spitting on me, but as a proof of concept, this turned out pretty well. Close that, kill that stupid cop. I come up here, we open up the doors, and we crashed again. That's the second time we crashed. And take three. Still day 700. Just started the Horde night over again. We got some dogs coming in this time. They passed across it just fine. Some of them get so excited coming up here on, nightmare speed and insane difficulty with max 64 zombies, and they get so excited when they come up the ramp, the doors are open, and they jump, fall down in there anyway because they just don't stop running. Killed the bulk of the zombies, stepped forward, and more pop in. We just go ahead and drop them down into the pit, toss another grenade, boom. I can do this all night long. All you need to do is make sure you have enough grenades or pipe bombs. Pipe bombs work just as well. Remember, do not use the contact grenades, because as you throw them down the chute, you're going to hit the side and it's going to end up blowing up in your face. And same with Molotovs. Even if you can get the Molotov down the chute, at some point it's going to hit the side of the chute, and at the very least you just wasted a Molotov. At the very worst, you just lit yourself on fire. Come on in, copper. Threw myself back in God mode there real quick. The zombies never get close enough to hurt you, except for the cops that spit. So I mean, you wanted to save your ammunition. Like, I would prefer to use my ammunition looting and doing quests and stuff, because I'm kind of a gun guy in this game. Don't care for the bows. I don't care for crossbows. I don't care for pointy weapons. I like bullets. So I like to save my bullets for when I'm out doing quests and stuff, and that makes this base perfect. In this base, even if you put walls all the way around you, when the cops come up where he's at, he can still spit at you. So you simply use your gun to take out the cops, when you see them in the doorway. The rest of them you can just let fall down. And we crash again. I don't know what take we're up to at this point, but it was 7 or 8 crashes in a row before I gave up on making it all the way through the Horde night. I just didn't put all of them in the video. Right now we have 3 PC gamers and an Xbox/PlayStation gamer in this house that could be running at any given point of day and night, as well as, you know, Netflix and those streaming services that I run through my Amazon Fire Stick, cell phones and iPads for the kids that my wife babysits. We got a lot of technology pulling on our internet connection, and we're within a week or two of getting my wife's gaming computer finished and back up and going, and then there'll be 4 PC gamers running off this internet. I'm starting to think we may need to upgrade our internet again. We will have to look into the cost of upgrading the internet a second time. We already had to upgrade it once. They still like to beat on the walls over there, so I'm thinking I may put in like the ramp blocks on their sides or something in those corners to help push them into the garage doors, onto the garage doors. Give them less to beat on over there. Kind of funnel them in. But as you can see, the base works beautifully. Your only concern is having enough grenades or pipe bombs to continue the onslaught all the way through an entire Horde night, and having enough forged steel on hand to make the quick repairs you'll need to make after the Horde night. So this build is 100% a success as a proof of concept. Now, there's a lot of things you can change for aesthetics, and you can put up walls to keep the cops from seeing you from behind. That will help limit how much gack that you end up wearing. But all in all, the base works perfectly, exactly as I designed it. Come on, fellas. Run on over here. Have a little fall. Come on. Come over here so you can go down and see your friends. Oh, here we got a whole bunch coming. Come on. Eventually, 1 or 2 of them will decide to come over here, and then a whole bunch more will follow. I think I have the entire 64 Horde down there now. Trying to open up the pressure plate instead of the hatch. That's hilarious. Throw down a bunch of non-exploded grenades. Get a bunch of these guys in there. Drop on down. Come one, come all. It's time to meet your makers. Here comes some more right off the edge, whether the doors were closed or not. He didn't even give two fucks at a rat's ass. He just said, come on, let's do this, and jumped on down there for me. Come on, guys. After the fact, I was thinking you probably should put a set of bars or some sort of roof onto that over top of those garage doors to help keep them from stacking up and getting on top of the cage that you're standing in. That took them all out. I love throwing down extra grenades and exploding them all at the same time. It's very satisfying. And like I said, I did not make it through an entire Horde night because my game kept crashing due to the strain on the internet. But as you can see, this would be no problem to make it through an entire Horde night. And they're not really damaging anything. Of course, that's because it's all made out of steel. I don't know that I would try this on these settings with anything less than steel. I would imagine concrete would last a little while. The cobblestone probably isn't going to last very long. Oof. Threw that last one a little bit too late, and it exploded up in my face there. Probably ought to turn the God mode back on. I think eventually I do realize that my health was low and I was killing myself, so I turned God mode back on eventually. But it's just so beautiful to sit here and watch this. It's satisfying to see that this type of base can work, especially for those of us that are either want to save our ammunition for other things or are just tired of the same old shoot, kill, and want to, spice things up a little bit. And those of us that are prone to lighting ourselves on fire with Molotovs, just ask Jawwoodle about that. He'll tell you all about it. And I'm exactly the same way. I throw 5 Molotovs, I light myself on fire 3 of the times. It's ridiculous. Contact grenades would be a problem, of course, because they're going to explode as soon as it hits the side of the chute. So I don't even try that. But these explosives that have the delayed, like the regular grenades and these pipe bombs, it's absolutely perfect. Look at that, took them all out. There's not a single one down there. Except for the ones that are jumping down by themselves. They're getting pushed off the edge over here. Now, because the game kept crashing, I never got a chance to check how much damage was actually being done, but I would be willing to bet any amount of money it wasn't very much. And I didn't get to check to see how much loot dropped down there. Of course, this is my testing world, so my loot stage is fairly low. And my game stage is fairly low, and I'm in a green zone, so there's probably not a lot of bags down there, but I see some. You could also, I suppose, find a way to set up blade traps or dart traps or something down there that will kill the zombies for you. So all you have to do is step forward and back and, drop zombies into the massacre hole. I mean, that's 2 hours into the day 7,000 Horde on nightmare speed and insane difficulty, and I haven't taken a single drop of damage from zombies yet. The only damage I'm taking is damage to myself, and I haven't expended a single bullet yet. Looks like we got just about all of them down there again, or almost all of them. Go ahead and drop that in there. Put that one down there too. Drop a couple more. We'll set them off with a pipe bomb. Big boom. No, that one didn't even get down all the way and was already exploded. This is the same trick with the garage doors that I used for securing the underground base entrance that you may have seen in the previous video. That concept and the floating base concept I both got from Ja Woodle's videos. He's probably one of the best 7 Days to Die content creators out there. The dude is brilliant when it comes to building and designing these bases, and the ideas and concepts he comes up with are generally so versatile that I've been able to incorporate them into dozens of different designs. And this is one of the ideas that I had from that initial video I watched with him doing the garage doors. They don't seem to hit the wall for very long. When they do go into that rage mode on that wall, they punch the wall for a couple of seconds, and then they suddenly realize that they can just run over to me instead and try hitting the bars. Throw some pipe bombs down there. Whoops. Toss a grenade to set them all off. Big boom, everybody dead. See if I can get one more in before it crashes a second time. We're coming up on the last crash. So we'll see if we can get it to a point where I can set off the explosion again before it crashes again. This is where I finally realized that I wasn't in God mode, because I kept getting kicked out, and I always run my testing in debug mode so I can run God mode on these kind of things. And each time it crashed, I kept forgetting to reset that. And there's the crash, the final crash. Now, like I said, I did not go to see how much loot there was. I did not go to check and see how much damage there was. Maybe I'll make another video on that. I don't know. But these particular grenades, I believe I chose because they only do 10 points of block damage, which means on a steel block, you could literally send thousands of these down there before that block will break from the explosions. And once again, it was Day 7000, max 64 zombies on nightmare speed and insane difficulty, and I took 0 damage from the zombies that ever even got close to me. And I think that is a raging success. So that has been another Blazed Outlaw Builders. Y'all have a great day and stay lifted.